Hello, welcome back to another incredible client interview. Today we're talking to who just pulled off something incredible. After joining the Software Engineering Accelerator, he pulled off double offers at incredible name brand companies, one at PayPal and another at Capital One. What I love about the story is that it wasn't luck, it was a system. He rebuilt his resume and LinkedIn with our coach feedback, applied early and at volume, lined up referrals before postings went live, and treated interview prep like training. Daily leak code plus mock interviews, walkthroughs, and behavioral storytelling. The result is that he's earning tens of thousands of dollars doing internships at name brand companies like PayPal and Capital One, all by applying the systems that we taught in the Accelerator. So without further ado, let's hear from... Yeah, so what I want to do here is just kind of talk about your experience in the program, why you decided to join, how you felt the sessions were, and the advice was, and the offer you got at the end of the day.
Yeah, so I guess kind of like coming into this, I saw one of your YouTube videos online. I think it was maybe like a leak code video, and kind of one of the main things that drew me to your program was that I saw that you were previously a student at Madison. I kind of went through some of the videos of other people who got internships within this program. So a few of them were also students at Madison as well. So I kind of just seen like, oh, this is potentially a pretty good program. And kind of like throughout that, I had like the meeting with you. Was initially a bit hesitant. But I ended up, talking through. You kind of told me that, hey, if you don't get this internship, you do potentially get refunded as long as you like follow all the guidelines. And kind of like through that, I just went through a lot of like technical and behavioral prep with the program.
Nice. Yeah, I want to talk specifically about, because I know you joined a bit of time ago. It was like November, December of last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think you started like early, like Jan, Feb or something like that.
Yeah.
So I want to hear more about why did you look for outside help? I feel like a lot of people, I went to Madison, so I knew a lot of people out there. They'd be like, yeah, I can just kind of just risk it and see what happens. Like, why look for outside help instead of just actually just risking it and see what happens?
I think like one of the main things that I had trouble with was like finding accountability with myself. Whether that be doing like mock interviews or like mock technical and behavioral interviews, it's hard to be consistent with that. And then kind of like finding like a community and network of like other students who are also like driven or have like the same goals of like, landing, internships or like a full-time job. Just having that like community is why I wanted to like seek this like program as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So kind of going to your experience in the program, or actually tell me what your background was, like how many internships have you done, what was your year in school and stuff like that.
Yeah, so I joined like second semester of my sophomore year. I'm studying computer science here at Madison. Freshman summer, I did a internship at like a rental car startup. And then coming into this program, I had an offer from State Farm. So I just finished that internship this past summer. But I was obviously, prepping for the junior year application cycle, and I knew that it's better to start early than later.
Yeah, absolutely. And now I'm remembering, like when we talked, I remember you saying like, hey, you have an internship for this summer. You've got that offer, but you want to get to the next level, really. Let's talk about the actual 6-step process. Like, as you know, our 6-step process is resume, LinkedIn referrals, behaviorals, technicals, leak codes. Let's start with resume. How did you feel like the resume help was at the Accelerator?
It was really good. I was able to get like resume reviews from like recruiters that like work at these like companies like at Amazon, etc. And I think like one of the main issues I had was putting in like metrics and impact and actually, telling a story, not just having like this like mess on a resume. So it's just kind of good having like metrics and bullet points that actually show some of these recruiters, oh, this is what he did, and like this is what he might like provide to our company as well.
Awesome. Yeah, sounds great. Let's talk about LinkedIn. How did you feel like the LinkedIn support was?
LinkedIn was good. I think like the main part for me was like kind of reaching out to people and like doing cold emails on LinkedIn, which is really, really helpful. Actually, like I got like referrals for like
Nice.
LinkedIn, some of these companies is really just like reaching out to some of like the Madison like school alumni, and just like talking with them as well. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, talking to referrals, like how was the referral system? Did you end up getting a lot of referrals through the process?
Yeah. So, um, like the process was I would cold message someone, I would connect with them, kind of find that, they were like alumni from like Madison. I would set up like a coffee chat. I wouldn't directly
Yep.
ask for a referral because kind of want to build some of like a genuine connection first. Just ask them about like their experience at the company, the culture and stuff like that. And then I would potentially ask for a referral afterwards. And then so I did this for like companies at like Capital One, at LinkedIn. I would do like Amazon as well. Just basically making sure I get referrals before the applications come out.
Nice. Let's talk about the passing the interview side of things because we talked about getting the interview. Actually, no, I'm curious, how many interviews did you end up getting this cycle?
Yeah, so actually I probably did around like 30, 40 applications
Hmm.
since like the end of summer, from counting onwards. And then I actually really only had this like one interview
Got
with
it.
Capital One.
Hmm.
And I think one of the reasons why is because there's still a lot of like applications still rolling out and companies are still going over like the resumes.
For sure. Yeah, that's
So yeah.
immediately what came to mind was we're very early in terms of like the actual fall recruiting cycle. Like I would be shocked if you didn't get at least two or three more interviews over the rest of the fall and then maybe even like up till December. Um,
Right.
yeah, let's talk about passing the interviews. So how did you feel like the mock technicals and behaviorals were?
Yeah, it was good. So, doing like mock interviews with some of the recruiters, and also even some of the people within the
Hmm.
community. And kind of like the main thing that I focused on was just explaining my thought process. I think one of the main things that, like hiring managers or even the people who are interviewing you, they're looking for like how well you explain your thought process, how well you problem solve, even if you don't get the correct solution. Just like making sure that you speak thoroughly, and really express like your thoughts, kind of just speaking out loud that whole time during the interview. So I think that was really helpful, and also like kind of going over like behavioral questions, being able to mold like maybe 10 to 20 stories to like all sorts of questions that the interview might be asking you. I thought that was really helpful. I can just have that in the back of my mind, and not really like stutter during the interview if they're asked, like what was a time that you challenged like the status quo or something like that.
Yeah,
And so those are
100%.
really helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. I think people think that they're good at behaviorals, but only when they actually go through a full behavioral interview process do they realize how bad they really are. I've done hundreds of mocks. Like, I've conducted hundreds of mocks through this, and I've seen like basically almost no one is perfect on day one. So I see exactly what you mean by that.
Yeah.
Nice. Awesome. So I guess I want to talk about your actual offer at the end of the day. So you mentioned how you got Capital One. So tell me about that. What was the offer you got at the end of the day?
Yeah, so this is the part of their TIP program, which is the Technology Internship Program for summer 2026. And the location is in McLean. And then I think it kind of breaks down to about 64.9 per hour, at
Nice.
Capital One. And then you can either choose to have your housing subsidized or a $5,000 stipend.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. Congratulations.
Yeah,
That's a really,
thank
really
you.
good outcome at the end of the day. Um,
Thank you.
I guess how do you feel about that? Like, is that the kind of company you wanted to get an offer at?
I think it's definitely a step up from my previous
Hmm.
internship. I would say kind of out of all the banks that I applied to, I definitely had a preference on Capital One because they're more of a tech forward company that's, like really driven on focusing on like AWS and the cloud right now. So that's definitely a good internship. I'm obviously aiming for potentially some other companies as well, as like the application cycle is still really
Hmm.
early during this semester. But I'm pretty happy where I'm at right now.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. Again, congratulations. That's awesome. Like 64 an hour is great. It's funny how they keep increasing the rates. Like I
I
remember, I think
know.
like last year was like 60 and then the year before was like 55. So it's awesome that
Yeah.
like things keep going up. I guess final question here is, do you feel like the accelerator is worth it to help you get to that next level and get that offer?
Yeah, 100%. I would say like the main benefit I had was, through the recruiters, through yourself, like messaging and providing support if I wanted help on my resume, if I wanted help on like mock or like technical interviews. Like we had like communities create like different like group chats, and would like do like weekly one-on-ones and stuff like that. So I would definitely say it's pretty valuable.
Awesome. Yeah, it's great to hear. So thanks for doing the interview. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, man.